Welcome to Vator Reports, the show on innovation. I'm Bambi Francisco. Well, we still don't have a studio, so thank you, Heidi Roizen, for opening up your home to us. Well, today's topic, the rapidly changing online marketing and advertising industries. Today's topic is on the rapidly changing online marketing and advertising industry, but before we dive into that topic, let me show you one company that's been highlighted and spotted by the Vator community as one to watch.
Hi, I'm Michael Brill. I'm the founder of CrushPad.
Congratulations to CrushPad, the winner of the Vator Wine 2.0 business plan competition sponsored by Redpoint Ventures. CrushPad won by receiving 200 votes, the most views, and a rating of nearly 5 out of the 99 people who rated this company. Vino Veritas came in second, followed by Open Bottles. These pitches and the other participants are definitely worth checking out. You can find them by clicking on the contest tab up here. I'm really excited to announce our latest competition, and that's with Demand Media. Demand Media raised $320 million. They're very acquisitive, and they're looking for the top new media company, and they partnered with Vator TV to find just that.
We partnered with Vator.tv to help find the best new media company in the world.
And it's time for Vator's Innovation Minute with our new managing editor, John Chenal.
For this segment of the Innovation Minute, we're going to look at the growing field of reputation management. And to explain what that is, let me talk first about advertising. Because I think first, everybody understands how the internet is changing advertising and how big ad buyers are pouring more and more money into search ads and other ads that use relevance to help them find consumers who are more likely to buy what they're selling. But what happens if the seller isn't happy after the sale? Now, prior to the web, jilted consumers didn't have a lot of options, right? But now, thanks to the internet, these type of consumers have a very powerful weapon, right? They can post at a product rating site. They can put feedback on the company's blog. They can create their own blog and find other buyers who maybe had a dissatisfied experience with the same company. And it's not just jilted consumers, right? I mean, everybody knows there's some bad actors out there. It could be a rival company that's posting anonymous comments. Now, companies know this, which is why they're trying to get in front of that kind of thing using technology called reputation management. Now, what reputation management does, these companies use software to troll through the internet and find out who's writing what about them and where. On the other side of the spectrum, you have venture-backed startups like Visible Technologies, which we wrote about in the Vator newsroom just a few weeks ago when they raised a funding round. Now, Visible has an added feature as well. Not only do they help companies look at what people are writing about them, and they're also looking where these companies are turning up on search rankings. It's really turned the whole marketing concept upside down. When companies used to want to find out what their reputation was like, they would put together a focus group and they would ask people. But less and less of that is going on now, because if a reputation starts to build, it's very difficult to try to reverse it. So what reputation management does is help companies get in front of that process. A lot of excitement, a lot of venture-backed companies. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of them go public in a few years, because this is an area that's of big interest to big companies. For this Innovation Minute, this is John Chenal.
Well, as John said in his report, companies like Visible Technologies, BuzzLogic, as well as Scout Labs are really changing the marketing landscape. And I'm glad to say John joins me now so we can dive into this topic a little bit more. John, thank you. You know, one of the things, I think the biggest trends that we're seeing, and I think you captured in this report, is really the influence of the consumer.
Right. You know, there was a time, Bambi, when the only big influencers in any one town, there was the person who owned the newspaper, the radio station, and the TV station. Now, so many different blogs are very influential, and consumers themselves, we're seeing now, are also influential by what they can post. Not only influential, but we're seeing now where they're actually become a media themselves, where we're seeing user ads and people, sometimes human billboards walking around. And all this is really decentralized, I think, the whole idea of who the influencers are. And it's opening up some great opportunities for companies, many of which have posted their pitches on Vator.
Online advertising, still the growth engine across overall advertising, which was down overall this year.
Right, except that the online ad component was up, I think, something like 25%. I mean, there's no question that this is a huge growth area, both on the marketing side and on the advertising side. And if you think about it, there's different media now, too. I mean, look at what people are expecting for video advertising. Really, so far, an untapped market. I mean, Google spent a lot of money to buy YouTube. really hasn't rolled out anything big yet. People are wondering, well, what are they going to do to monetize it?
What's interesting, Mark Mahaney was here for an interview, and he talked about how YouTube, he anticipates YouTube is going to generate about $200 million in advertising, and that's from some of the video ads, pre-rolls that they're going to be putting into their videos. And I think companies like Video Egg, also on our site, they're getting $8 to $25 CPMs for those videos.
Yeah, it's because people know that they're watching it. And I mean, I think you mentioned the figure that Google expects to get for YouTube, or maybe that Mark Mahaney expects Google to get from YouTube. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we are so early in this game, and we're seeing, who knows whether the ads are going to be before the videos, or embedded into the videos, or going to come after, or be text next to it. I don't think anybody knows how that's going to work yet. But there's no doubt that someone is going to figure out how to place ads inside web video, and that consumers are going to be okay with that. And the amount of revenue that's going to generate from that, think of it, I think it's, I don't know, 100 billion, 150 billion in advertising that's spent on TV every year. It's going to go up next year with the election. Think about the potential for political ads on the web and what MoveOn has already done. I mean, this is an area for tremendous growth, and we haven't even really scratched the surface yet.
And one thing we didn't touch on, and clearly this sort of underscores that the big media or traditional or the online media companies really get it. We had Google buying DoubleClick, Yahoo spending $850 million on Right Media, Microsoft buying Aquantive, and WPP buying 24/7 Real Media. A lot of demand for advertising networks out there.
Big money. I mean, that's big money. Steve Ballmer was talking about this a few weeks ago at the Web 2.0 conference in San Francisco, and Microsoft's buy of Aquantive, that was 6 times the size of any other acquisition that they've ever done, right? 5-fold or 6-fold bigger. That tells you what Microsoft thinks the potential of this market is. And if you add up all those deals you just mentioned, I believe it's more than $10 billion, right? So there's some major consolidation going on, and whenever you see that, you know that the big players are positioning themselves to try to get a big slice of it. The exciting thing is that what I mentioned earlier, which is that nobody really knows what it's going to look like, so small startups are going to have a chance to get it because the model is not mature at all, and people are trying to figure out how to do it, lining up, and it's going to be a great battle to watch.
Yeah, and John, a lot of those startups are emerging on Vator. Let's take a look.
We are the next generation online marketing firm which has integrated the traditional online marketing with the emerging social media.
iCracker allows users to influence the text ads that appear on their pages to make these more meaningful, more relevant, and less intrusive.
If your sales organization is still making cold calls, get on over to genius.com and sign up for Sales Genius right away.
Well, since this show was all about marketing and advertising, if you want to sponsor Vator Reports or a competition on Vator, just email marketing@Vator.tv. Well, that's a wrap, but before I let you go, I want to plug John's Blog Critic News. It's funny, it's informative, and it's a new perspective on innovation. Check it out, and I'll see you next time on Vator TV.